Hi everyone, how are you? I hope that you are well. So today we are going to talk about what is going on with mortgage rates. So the Fed increased the interest rate today, but we're not talking about the interest rates. We're talking about the mortgage rates. But before I do that, look what happened to me. Somebody has jokes, right? I got this in the mail. See what it says. Can you see at the top of this? Okay. So whoever's watching me has some jokes. So, but anyway, we're going to talk about mortgage rates. So the mortgage rates are, according to the headlines, they have tumbled by the most in 4 months because of the banks collapsing. So as a result of that, they have seen an increase in people buying homes by 2%, an increase in people refinancing their existing loans by 5%, an increase in people um, buying homes. I already said that by 2%. And then more people looking than the previous week. So there's an association out here called the Mortgage Bankers Association. Mortgage Bankers Association, the symbol is MBA. And what they do, their job is to measure the mortgage application volume. So there's a group of people out here and they have a job of looking at the volume of how many people are applying for mortgages. So that is a actual job title. How many people, what is the volume of people who are applying for mortgages? And this is called the Mortgage Bankers Association, MBA. So they're noting that it's up. More people are applying for loans, more people buying homes, more people refinancing. Of course, this is still at an all-time low, but they're saying that there is an increase from the pandemic years. And that increase is small. It's 5%, like I stated before, it's 2%, like I stated before, and it's 3%, like I stated before. But according to the headlines, the US mortgage rates have tumbled by the most in 4 months as a result of this bank collapse. And so, what is the correlation between banks collapsing and the mortgage rate decreasing? So I'm going to go over that very quickly. But before I do, the current mortgage rate is, guess what? It's 6.48%, which is still high, but it's down from 6.71%. So it's 6.48%. It has gone down. All right. So what is this correlation between these banks collapsing and the mortgage rate going down? Well, they look at this thing called the 10-year Treasury yield. So the 10-year Treasury yield is essentially the bond yield. So when the bond yield goes down, it's down right now. The 10-year Treasury yield or bonds is down right now. When that goes down, the mortgage rate goes down. Why? Because the mortgage lenders, they change their rates according to whatever this 10-year Treasury yield is doing. So that's the reason. So all eyes are on this 10-year Treasury yield. Like people closely monitor this. What is a 10-year Treasury yield doing? What is it doing? And then, okay, so I'm going to set my rates according to what this 10-year Treasury yield is doing. So all eyes are on this 10-year Treasury yield. Like the Federal Reserve closely monitors this 10-year Treasury yield. And the other name for that is bonds. So bonds are low, so the mortgage rates are going to be low. And that is the correlation. So what is the 10-year Treasury yield? What are bonds? So, if anyone has ever bought you a bond before, you actually saw a bond before. But just an example, say that you have a bond and it is $1,000. Somebody bought you $1,000 bond. Say that it has a 4% interest rate. So 4% of $1,000 is $40. So if you hold this bond, you're going to make $40 a year until the maturity date. At the maturity date, you get that $40 every year plus the original $1,000 that was paid for the bond. So bonds have different maturity dates. So you buy it, it's making interest every year. I mean, it's making money every year, depending on what the interest rate is. And then it matures. And then you can sell it if you wish, or just get your money if you wish. So they have different maturity dates. It's anywhere from 2 to 30 years. And if it matures within 2 to 10 years, then it's called a note. So they're looking at this 10-year treasury yield, which is essentially the bond yield. How much yield is this bond giving? They look at this 10-year treasury yield or bond, and then everything else is centered around this. Okay, the bond is down right now. Okay, well, let's adjust these mortgage rates. And so that's how it works. And that's why all eyes are on this 10-year treasury yield. If you're ever watching television and you see the 10-year treasury yield, all eyes on this 10-year treasury yield. What is this 10-year treasury yield doing? What's the yield? What is the yield? And so that is a correlation. It's down. The banks collapse. So the lenders, they adjusted the rate and the mortgage rate is down. All right. Also, the mortgage rate, it also depends on the demand for housing. So if there's a lot of houses out on the market and a lot of people have high demand to buy the house, they increase the mortgage rate. And if there are fewer houses on the market, there's less demand. People are like, I am not buying no house right now. So fewer demand, then the mortgage rates are down. So those are some of the factors in the mortgage rate. Like I said before, it is down now, according to the media, more than it has been in 4 months. It is currently, as of today, at 6.48%. It was 7% last year in October. Now it's down to 6.48%. Way in the past, it has been as low as 2%. So some people have been buying houses at the mortgage rate of 2%. And so you know that a low mortgage rate translates into lower monthly payments. And that's why people, they want low mortgage rates, as you know already. So that is what's going on. You know, the Feds, they increased the interest rates and the mortgage rate is down. It's coming down. Even though it's still high, it's coming down. All right. So if you like the channel, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think? All right. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your night. Bye for now.